So once I've written my main riff, I can think a little bit more about the synth sound that I want. Really try and home in on maybe not the final synth sound, but something a lot closer. So I wasn't liking that pizzicato string sound I was using, so I want to try and use a synth sound. Now, a really great synthesizer that's been used on millions of tracks is a synthesizer called Massive. I actually only have the demo of it, which means you could just get the demo for free. You just go online, find the Massive download, and then here's my little hack for just using a demo if you don't have the money to buy this great synthesizer that you should buy if you've got the money. Hit run demo when it comes like that, and basically it means you've got half an hour to use this synth before it resets. So here's my little hack. I've loaded it up. I've decided that I want a synth lead sound. You can get completely lost in synthesizers because there's millions of sounds, and if you just endlessly flick through with no sort of thought about what you want, you will eventually completely lose any perspective and give up and go and have that sandwich. So I know I want a synth lead sound, so I'm going to click on this category here. And then there's subcategories, so I think I want a dirty lead sound. Clicking on that, and then it's brought up all these presets. So then if I click on them and then get the riff looping, and then I can just flick through. I like that one. That's cool. Now, where Massive is pretty good, if you look at the synth side of it here, this is very confusing. I'm no expert on synths. I know some basic functions, but I'm not going to kill my creativity by sitting down and twiddling all these knobs. By all means, millions of people are into that and they love it and they make all these great presets. That's just not me. So I'll go to this browser mode. I've chosen this burning source, and it just has these little macro controls which are like the main features of the synthesizer. So I can just twiddle these knobs and just find something a bit more what I'm going for. Again, always great to have in your mind what you're going for instead of just turning knobs randomly. So maybe like this synth sounds a bit too harsh, so I want to soften it a bit. So ways to soften it are lose some of the top end, slow the attack. So I can see there's this cut it and there's this attack. See what happens if I turn the cut it. So I can see there when I turn cut it down, we lost all the top end, and it gives you this really cool sort of sound. And then actually I really liked when I sweeped it up, and I start to go, I might want to get that in my track somehow. Another one is attack. So this will slow the attack of the note, which will help soften it, which is what I want to do. So you'll notice that I played with a few other knobs there. I decided there was too much like effects on it, so I could see one that's called effects mix. So if I bring it down, guess what? Those effects just start to go down. So let's just say I'm really happy with that sound, and it's taken me about 10-15 minutes. I'm slightly aware that this Massive demo is going to run out. So what I would do now, make sure your metronome's off. Make sure the track you've been working on is soloed. Here's a solo button. Every DAW will have one. Make sure it's at a sensible volume, and then I would just bounce down that bit of audio to turn it into so you can see here, you can't see it, here it is. When I go to bounce something down, it will give me a dialog box, asking what I want to call it. So I might just call it main riff 1. I want it as a high quality WAV. I want it stereo, 24-bit, and it bounced it offline, and I hit bounce. And what that's done now is that's turned it into a piece of audio. So instead of MIDI that looks like this, turned it into audio, like a waveform. So as you can hear, here's 3 of the same riff that I put together using Massive, and I settled on 3 different synth sounds that I liked, and I wanted to blend them together. So I can mute this now because I'm not using it. And as you can see, I bounced the riff down as these bits of audio. So we got one that was called Bubbles. And then another one called Harpsichord. And another called Strings. And between those 3 sounds, I felt like I got the sound I wanted. And now they're all audio, so these are like samples that I can loop and chop and use however I want to use them, and I don't have to worry about synthesizers or the Massive demo running out. And that's a little hack to use the great synthesizer Massive in demo mode. So I've got my main riff now. I can start thinking about other elements of the track.